Estamos aquí presentes en esta rueda de prensa enfocándole que las bodegas como centros familiares no estamos de acuerdo con la legalización de la marihuana, que no se nos vea como un punto solamente de comercio, sino como una familia que tenemos que luchar por la sociedad y por esa juventud que necesitan tanto de los padres y de nosotros. Y sería un problema muy grande para la juventud y la familia en general. Hoy estamos luchando por esto, por el bienestar de toda esa comunidad que sufre bastante cuando ven sus hijos malpasando en ciertos vicios que no deben de ser correspondidos en vez de estar en la escuela. Con más detalle yo le voy a dejar a Fran, el secretario general, que le va a dar más informaciones aquí a ustedes sobre la posición de nosotros como asociación de bodegueros. Muchas gracias.
Ok, Francisco Martí, secretario general de la Asociación de Bodegueros. Simplemente queremos aclarar a nuestra posición en cuanto a lo que es nuestro negocio, lo que son nuestros negocios, han sido tradicionalmente, que son sitios de acogimiento familiar. Nosotros en ningún momento promocionamos ni pedimos legalización de la marihuana. No queremos convertirnos en centros de distribución de la marihuana. Queremos mantenernos, como siempre hemos sido, un sitio de acogimiento familiar donde vienen los niños, viene la familia, que es lo que queremos mantener siempre, donde nuestros negocios puedan ser siempre lo que han sido un lugar seguro para la familia, ser parte de la comunidad, ser parte del crecimiento de nuestras comunidades, de nuestros hijos. No estamos de acuerdo en eso, queremos seguir siendo parte de la comunidad, respetando. Nuestro negocio está más orientado a lo que es en el servicio comunitario, el servicio a la comunidad, donde no queremos ser parte de algo que le va a causar muchos problemas a nuestra juventud. Queremos darle las gracias a nuestros líderes que nos han apoyado, a Dani Rodríguez, a Erika, parte de Taylors, y gracias a todos.
So today position, I'm going to say English and Spanish. Today's position is very clear. They are the voices and the faces of the bodegas and delis throughout the city of New York. They are Latinos, they are Arabs, they are the ones who make our city alive when it comes to places where New Yorkers, especially underserved community, they rely on to buy any products. Their position, my position is that marijuana, if it's legalized in New York City, should exclude bodegas and delis as places where people should be allowed to buy. They are not here taking position in anything more than yes, the bodegas. That's their concern. Their concern is, and they were partners in what I did in the past. They were the same faces and individuals that also tried to ban hookahs and any item related to hookahs to be sold in bodegas. Their approach is that bodegas are family centers. Bodegas are places where children are the ones who also go to those places. If by any chance the city or the state allow the city to legalize marijuana, bodegas and deli should not be included. Hoy lo que están fijando los dueños de bodegas y de delis, que son latinos, que son árabes, es de que la marihuana en ninguna circunstancia y en ningún momento se debería vender en las bodegas. Por una razón muy simple. Las bodegas son el centro de las familias, son el centro de los niños. Entonces, ellos son las voces que representan a la Asociación de Bodegueros del Estado de Nueva York. Ellos son los líderes, ellos son los trabajadores, ellos son los que tienen que ir a Jetro, ellos son los que tienen que mover cajas para proveer los artículos que nuestra gente necesitan cuando los supermercados están cerrados, cuando no están un lugar grande abierto. Cuando BJ está cerrado, they open. You know, most of them, they are 24 hours. And it is very important to understand that. And I applaud as a council member that represent this district. And we're very close with the leadership of the Bodega Association to know that they are standing today, sending the message loud and clear. As the leaders of the Bodegas Association of the State of New York, they don't want marijuana to be allowed to be sold in their establishment. If a decision is made by the state that will allow New York City to make marijuana legal, they want the bodegas in Delhi to be excluded on that.
Espérame un segundito nada más, Dani, para que me le deje un review rápido en inglés de esto. La Asociación de Bodegas condensa su posición en 6 puntos. En 6 puntos, que son más o menos claros. Primero, la bodega dominicana, más que simple tienda de suministro de alimentos, jugos, soda, grosses en general, son el punto común de convergencia de nuestras comunidades y son diariamente visitadas por nuestros niños y adolescentes.
The first point is what I elaborated before. He has mentioned the most important point that they at the Bodegas Association are highlighting today. Bodegas are family centers. They are more than places where people can buy food and good. This is a place where a lot of residents of the underserved community mainly convert and they get together. And most of them, they are family members and they are children who attend those places.
Este hecho, este es el punto número 2. Este hecho hace que las bodegas sean vistas como instituciones de la barriada, como una especie de santuario donde acuden nuestros niños en ocasiones y se mantienen hasta que sus padres los recogen al retornar del trabajo en muchas ocasiones.
Bodegas became like a sanctuary places for the community. In many occasions, they are a place where some family members, they let the children to stay there until they come back from work, because they know that these bodegas owner, they support families in those communities where they live.
Bajo estas condiciones, las bodegas nunca deben ni pueden ser usadas como lugar de expendio de drogas o sustancias que pueden inducir a nuestros niños a la dependencia de opioides, que finalmente harán de sus vidas un infierno.
By no circumstances, bodega should be a place where marijuana or any type of drug should be allowed to be sold.
El supuesto de que esta droga tradicional pueda ser legalizada y de que generaría beneficios a los bodegueros no es una razón válida para hacer la declaración pública que los ex compañeros hicieron a través de su vocero, el señor Fernando Mateo.
If by any chance marijuana is become legal, bodega should not be included, and that's why they want to be sure that the leadership here are the ones that speak on behalf of the thousands and many women who work in the bodegas and delis, that the previous statement that was made by the other individuals doesn't reflect the position that, which is the official one that they are stating today on behalf of the men and women, especially in the Latinos and the Arab communities.
La intención de ASOBEO, la Asociación de Bodegueros, no es establecer una polémica con nuestros antiguos compañeros, pero bajo ningún concepto promoveremos ni apoyaremos que se venda marihuana en nuestras bodegas. Y no consentiremos que ninguno de los miembros nuestros hagan dinero con el futuro de nuestros niños, si es que por mala suerte se llegara a aprobar el tal proyecto.
If it become legal, they want to be sure that it doesn't matter who likes to make profit with this. No one should make profit by selling, allowing marijuana to be sold in grocery or delis.
La ciudadanía finalmente debe estar segura que bajo ninguna circunstancia, y lo ponemos en negritas y en comillas, ASOBEO permitirá que alguno de sus miembros haga dinero jugando con la salud de las pequeñas personas que hoy son nuestros niños, pero que mañana serán nuestros ciudadanos.
We just want that children should not be used as, for anyone to make profit. And if the marijuana is allowed to be sold in the bodegas, they also will be exposed to this.
Por último, nosotros tenemos una copia para cada uno de ustedes para que puedan hacer su trabajo. Se la voy a entregar.
Le introduce.
Could you just introduce the people who spoke?
Oh, yes.
Great.
Yes. We're going to introduce now Kelly from Arab store. So you want to speak on behalf of the Arabic grocery store.
All right, and what is your name, sir? First?
Khaled. Khaled.
Khaled?
Yeah.
Spell that for us.
Khaled.
And your last name?
Ashaif.
Can you pronounce your last name, please?
Ashaf.
Thank you.
I just want to reiterate what my fellow bodega owners said. We are small-time mom and dad shops, and that's our main customer. Small-time mom and dads and their families come and visit our stores every day. We communicate with the community every day, and what we sell represents the community, and we shouldn't sell marijuana because that is promoting it to the kids, and that is a dangerous path along the future. Once they see that we are promoting it, they will be encouraged to consume it. Again, we shouldn't sell it because kids see us as the leaders of the community, and because of that, we shouldn't influence their minds.
Are you concerned about crime, or, increasing outside of the bodega if you do sell this drug?
Like with certain cases in California, where robberies have happened inside dispensaries, crime is an issue, especially with lack of security in some of the dispensaries.
Are you proposing an exclusion zone like they're looking at for parks and schools, or just for bodegas not to have it? It can be anywhere else but not bodegas. Or do you want a buffer zone of any sort?
Their position is, again, I believe that marijuana has been legal for rich people for decades. Like, let's call it what it is. Like, anyone here who is white, who is the upper class, you go to a rooftop, we go to a restaurant in the Midtown, 65 million tourists came here last year, no one was arrested. So it's people of color that have been arrested because they've been buying some weed in the street. However, and a lot of people have been doing, on the Rockefeller law, you know what happened. A lot of people, black and Latino, they were criminalized. However, I personally believe in what they said right now. They are here standing on the bodegas places. That's the press conference today. That's their position today. Their position today is that because of everything that they explained, bodegas are places, are not recreational places. If bodega is allowed to be sold in recreational places, bodegas are not. Bodegas are family center. And that's why they're taking this position today that bodegas should not be included in places that it should be allowed to be sold if marijuana is legalized in New York.
But don't you think there'll be a lot of regulation regarding the sale and distribution of, like, where it would go, that it would be pretty strict, so that, there'd be real limits to who could sell it and where or to whom?
Yes, we know that, and that's something that we are against also, because that's gonna bring a lot of regulation, a lot of fines against us, and that will create something that is a black market, as happened with the cigarette. So we are concerned about the new regulation, about the creation of the black market, and the rise of the crimes. We will be then subject to more hold up, to be robbery as before. So that's some of the reasons why we are against that. Even the main reason is the families. We are a family store. So we do believe that there's going to be a lot of regulation that will be against us.
What's your name, sir?
Francisco Marte,
And what's your position in the organization?
General Secretary.
What dollar amount do you make from alcohol sales, and what projected dollar amount will you make from marijuana sales in bodegas?
Well, we don't know exactly what we will make from the marijuana, because it's something that hasn't been approved yet. It might gonna happen, it might not gonna happen. We are not in promotion of legalization the marijuana, and we don't want to be part of that business, because we know, as I answered, that we're not gonna make profit with that. They just gonna use us as they use the cigarette, so we don't make any money. A lot of our store, we don't sell any more cigarettes because we don't make no profit. We don't have the margins of profit for those type of products. So we rather we don't sell it. Most of them we don't sell it. So marijuana, we don't know exactly. What I've been talking most is about how much money the government will make at the tax. They said I might gonna make like $400 million a year for the government. That's why they be more focused. We are not focused on that. We are focused on the safety of our families, our children, our community.
And how much do you bring in from alcohol? How much do you bring in from alcohol a year?
A year, we could say like 25% of our revenues come from alcohol.
So let's just say it becomes legal. Can't you guys all just decide not to sell it?
Well, like we said, we the bodegas, we don't interested in selling. We want to be part of selling marijuanas because that will be very dangerous for our kids, for our community. That will change the whole landmark of what is a grocery store for. Grocery store is a family store, family business where you send your kids, you go yourself, and you don't want to see nobody there buying marijuana in front of your kids. It's gonna be something that might be gonna be legal, but won't be accepted for a lot of people.
But also, let's be clear, like as I said before, when I work on legislation about hookahs, and we pass a package of legislation, they wanted to ban hookahs and any item related to hookah to be sold in bodegas. So it's not the first time that they have concern about how bodegas are family-centered. So right now they are not thinking about the profit. They're not thinking about how much can we compare the liquor and the other things. The message today is clear. They want to preserve bodegas as a place that they are family-centered. And as they approach my office in the past, trying to ban hookahs to be sold in bodegas and delis, they are taking this approach today. This is a good time. And the whole city of New York should applaud their leadership, because this is a process where probably very soon, Albany, we made a decision. So this is the moment. They are not waiting to see marijuana is legalized in order for them to say, we should make a decision that we will not sell marijuana. What they're saying today, we are part of this conversation. And as bills are discussed in Albany, they want to be sure that it exclude bodegas and deli store as places where marijuana will be allowed to be sold.
So because they don't want to do it, they don't want anyone to do it.
No, I talk about bodegas.
No, I know, but because these bodega owners don't want it, they don't want any bodega in the state of New York to sell marijuana.
No, they are an institution. They are the Bodegas Association of the state of New York. So they are taking the position today of their institution. Hopefully,
they want all bodegas excluded.
That's exactly what it is.
How many do you represent as an organization?
¿Cuántas bodegas representan ustedes?
Over 5,000 bodegas.
Throughout New York State or
in the city?
In the city. There is another organization who is advocating for this, to say that they want to sell it. Why not to get on the bandwagon?
Well, because we are the free countries where everyone can have the right to have their voice, but we as Bodega Association, we are pioneers. We've been working with the bodegas for so many years. That's our position. We are not in favor of selling marijuanas, because what really has made the bodegas owner and bodega place popular in New York is because it's a family. It's a place where you can send your kids to buy the milk, to buy stuff, or wait there until the parents get to the house when they come from the school. So that's what we want to preserve, the safe place for our community, for our kids, for our innocent kids.
And you think it might be unsafe as a result of pot sales and not only selling that, but the money that you'd be exchanging and everything. So you think that puts kids at risk?
Yes, because that will be like a motivation for increase the robbery.
It's really an issue that the bodega owners throughout the city are united on, though, because as was mentioned, there was another association, and there was a rally last month in the Bronx of bodega owners who want to sell it. So, I mean, how united are your stores?
Well, yes, because there are some new organizations, so that they don't really represent the majority of our business. And some of even the people who talk, they are not even a bodegas man. We all are bodega men. I start to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, as he did too. So we are a really bodegas workers, bodega owners that represent the best interest for our business and our associates.
Would not allowing it be, as you mentioned, Councilman, a social justice issue? These are predominantly, people of color, business owners in their communities for a long time, communities that have been hurt by the war on drugs, by arresting people for marijuana. Why wouldn't allowing these people who've been dealing with the war on drugs to now reap the profits, why wouldn't that be social justice?
We believe that marijuana, I believe marijuana should be allowed as a recreational use. Like, come on, let's call it what it is. Where do we target alcohol? In poor neighborhood. Check around advertising. Do you see the same level of advertising in the black, Latino, and the white community? Do we see the same advertising in the Upper West Side, Upper East Side, in the Bronx? Walk around. Let's have that discussion.
But
the same one that we had 20, 30 years ago. The answer is no. We believe, again, that this is about bodegas. I believe as something that should be allowed when the city will decide as a recreational. As I say, marijuana has been legal for rich people, has never been illegal. Now we're talking about the profit. I believe also with the projection that has been made about who should be and should not be, black and Latino should not be out, as you know, which is your concern with this. I believe so. I believe that the black and Latino should be part of those who will be part of the business. However, as you can see their faces, this is the individual that they spend many hours in Jetro, in all those places, moving those boxes. They are one that have the bodegas in the South Bronx, in those communities where 40% of New York live in poverty. So what they're saying today, they are not getting into the other area, other spaces, even in the community. What they say in bodegas is a sanctuary. It's a sanctuary place for children and family. This would like for Albany to know and for the city to know that they would like for bodega not to be included as location where marijuana will be allowed to be sold, as they also came to me in the past, saying hookahs and hookahs iron should not be allowed to be sold in bodegas and delis.
In terms of alcohol and I'm wondering if you're on board with the proposal that was made yesterday to take some of the sales tax and put it back into these communities for business development that was introduced yesterday by a couple Reynoso and a couple of your colleagues. Is that
of course we need
something that you support rather than having the bodega owners make the profit? You would
yes, we should take some of those percentages of taxes and put it back in the local community as one of many things that we need to do. As you know, this group, they also support the bill, the Small Business Job Survival Act. So they are fighting for the city to pass a law that will bring the right and fairness to them, for them to sign the lease. They also believe that 80% of the jobs in New York City are created by mom and pop store. And as we as a city in the state talking about giving Amazon $3 billion, incentive in different way should be given to their establishment. However, on today's conversation is about, it's about the whole things about the weed and the marijuana and their position. I support it. As a council member, believe that marijuana has been legal for the wealthy New Yorkers. I believe it should be allowed as a recreational, but I also believe and support the leadership when they're saying it should not include the bodegas as places where they should be allowed to be sold.
So I'm from Assemblyman Al Taylor's office.
Would you be able to step center,
sure.
please? Thank you.
And just give us your
Hi, my name is Erica Rodriguez. I'm from the office of Assemblymember Al Taylor. He is supportive of the association that marijuana should not be sold in the bodegas. There's still talks about legislation on marijuana, as you all know. It's still being worked out. If this is going to be an opportunity for the black and brown community to be entrepreneurs, or for black and brown communities to have members be exonerated from past crimes, he is for that. But in terms of what we're here today, as a council member is saying, he is not supportive of the sale in the bodegas. Como le estaba diciendo, me llamo Erika Rodríguez, soy de la oficina del asambleísta Al Taylor. Estamos aquí en esta prensa de conferencia, como dijo el concejal, para dejarles saber que estamos apoyando a la asociación en en lo que ellos quieren decir, que no quieren que la marihuana sea vendida en las bodegas. Pero también en Albany todavía están hablando de la legislación, todavía están tratando de venir a acuerdo de lo que va a venir en este package. Y si hay oportunidades para la comunidad latina y afroamericana para que sean, negociantes o algo así, y va a ser de beneficio a la comunidad, él está de acuerdo de eso. Pero hay regulaciones que todavía están hablando de eso y tenemos que seguir con eso. Pero en lo que estamos aquí, él apoya la opinión de la asociación que la marihuana no debe de ser vendida en las bodegas. Muchas gracias.
So, and just kind of in contrast of all this, if they say they don't want this, are they fearful that other people around them are going to become wealthy from the sale of this and they'll be excluded from that?
No, they are not talking. They are not looking at this. And Francisco can elaborate it. They are not right now thinking about profits. Who will take advantage of the profits? They're thinking about the family, the safety, the children. It's not about who. If they don't do, who else can take profit with this? What they saying is bodegas are closed in the underserved community, in places where the family and go with the children. That
this is moral.
It's about moral. Yeah, more than the
On the safety, how specifically are bodegas regulated on alcohol and tobacco, and why do you feel safe selling those products, and why do you not feel safe? Can you explain for WNYC listeners what the difference is? How are you regulated on those products? Why do you feel safe having kids buy those?
All right. That's two different stuff that we be working, and we be getting a lot of fine, a lot of regulation. We don't need no more regulation to our business, because we already have so many regulations that they be hitting us, and we gotta be very, very careful on those matters. But most of the who consume alcohols or cigarettes, there are no kids, or they don't get it. But once that our position is that, since that we will be selling the marijuana, and the kids gonna be there buying candy, buying milk, buying stuff, they're gonna see something like very normal, very usual. It's gonna be like a motivation for them. Even if they don't get it themselves, they can get someone else to get it. So we don't really want that, because we concern about our family, about our children. That's what our bigger concern here. It's not about the money.
Kids are able to
Yes, we do have those concerns, and we really work on that. And even the government, sometimes they use some trick to find us, but we don't want to bring something else. We already have enough.
Has anyone ever came in and tried to rob you for liquor? Has anyone ever came in with a gun? If you have marijuana in your store, do you believe that someone's going to come in with a gun to try to rob you?
Okay, that will, yes, but we believe that will be an attraction for the people to come to the store to promote violence and rap.
Déjeme aclararle algo también a ustedes. La familia más cercana de la comunidad es el bodeguero. El bodeguero es que sabe todos los chismes y todo lo que pasa afuera de la bodega, porque todo se lo van a contar al bodeguero. Y nosotros no estamos de acuerdo, porque sabemos los problemas que van a venir, tanto para la familia como para la juventud. Entonces sería un problema desastroso, que debemos tener en cuenta las regularidades que van a venir, y que no podemos los bodegueros ya soportar más regulaciones que nos caen a diario. Yo creo que el gobernador y el alcalde deben de pensarlo un poquito y tratar de ese lapicero echarlo un poquito para atrás y no aprobar la marihuana sintética. La asociación de bodegueros, Asobeo, no va a estar de acuerdo en que vendan marihuanas en nuestros negocios.
¿Cuál es su posición frente a la ley de la marihuana recreacional? La pregunta para usted y para el concejal. ¿Cuál es la posición fuera de las bodegas? O sea, ¿usted está de acuerdo con que se apruebe la marihuana recreacional en Nueva York?
Bueno, ya se seguro. Las bodegas no están de acuerdo. Ya las regulaciones que ellos pongan y que ellos lo aprueben, ya es cuestión del gobernador y el alcalde. Pero las bodegas no estamos de acuerdo.
I personally believe that marijuana should be allowed to be la marihuana de nuevo como algo. La posición de ellos que están aquí es muy específica, tiene que ver con que se sabe que la ciudad, el Estado, está dando todos los pasos para permitir que la marihuana sea vendida como algo recreacional. Hoy específicamente la posición que ellos están tomando es de que si el Estado la ciudad toman esa decisión, que las bodegas no deben ser incluidas como lugares que se puedan permitir venderse. Yo estoy de acuerdo, yo lo he fijado anteriormente, yo creo que sí, que si se legaliza la marihuana, y yo creo que se debe de permitir legalizar, pero solamente en lugares que no sean como las bodegas, que es lo que ellos están señalando en el día de hoy.
You said that bodegas are family centers and that you're worried about marijuana being a bad influence on the children, but why do you not feel that having them exposed to alcohol and cigarettes is a bad influence? What is the...
Well, like I said, we were talking, we clarify our positions regarding to the marijuana. Like I said, the alcohols hasn't create those problems, and like the question was made, they don't come to give you a hold up for a bottle of beer. Marijuana will be more dangerous for our kids that come to the store to buy candy, and they see that at the same time, sometimes when you be taking care of more than one customer, you can pass something. I don't know how they will regulate that, and one candy, one sneaker, and one bag of weed or whatever, the way that they want to do it. We are not in favor of being part of that. We are very against that for our community, for our safety of our kids. That is our more concern.
Gracias. Gracias, thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Your name, sir?
Ignacio Castillo.
Okay, and you are the president?
Presidente de la asociación.
Thank you.
Francisco Veo.